Okay, so welcome guys to Reality Radio with our good friend Andrew Kirk. This is our very first time on YouTube Live, and we are happy to be here. And today we will be talking about Big Brother 16, Week 9. Um, so first, I want to just introduce Andrew. Andrew, what's your like Twitter and anything else you want to put out there?
Yeah, it's at CSUA Kirk, and my blog is bigtimerealitytv.blogspot.com. Appreciate you having me on. I definitely have missed talking Big Brother in a while. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has gone on in the past couple weeks that we definitely need to talk about.
Yeah. I've been wavering back and forth if I'm going to continue watching it, if I'm not. And but you know what? I watched it and I watched this the past couple episodes all tonight, and God, it was so hard. It was so hard to watch. But we're just going to jump right into it. We got a lot to talk about. Well, I mean, what I want to start is last week we got to see the jurors do a competition to come back into the house. And I want to get your take on just this competition. What exactly were you expecting when you first found out? Okay, the jury, so Zach, Jocasta, Nicole, and Hayden all get to compete in a competition to see who gets back into the house. All right, what did you have in mind for that type of competition?
I thought it was gonna be something like last season with uh with the whole catching the baseball, throwing it in the bin. I mean, this one was a game of chance. We were so close to having Jocasta back in the house.
Honestly, like this week is gone. Like it might as well have been Jocasta. Nicole hasn't really done anything. But I understand
The
what people are
result,
like.
I'm happy with the result, though. I mean, I would have been happy with any of the other three besides Jocasta. No disrespect to her. I think any of those three would have been great to be back in the house. Um, I know, I don't know what the website was, but there was a poll. I think it was on one of the Big Brother sites of who they want to see come back in, and Nicole was overwhelmingly the favorite.
Yeah, I was hoping for Hayden. Out of all of them, I was really hoping for him to come back because I feel like he's a stronger, more dominant competitor, and he would incite some fear into those guys' eyes. I don't think Nicole really did that. She was just really quiet about everything. So
And plus he got blindsided. I mean, that was the one eviction.
I don't think he was
I had
blindsided at
no,
all.
I had no idea that that was going to happen. I mean, I actually thought that when Hayden was up against Nicole, I thought Nicole was going to go home.
No, it was. I don't think it was a blindside at all. I think he knew what was coming for sure. Um, so yeah, I thought it was just a ridiculous competition. I was like, this is so stupid. It was all luck, and it like they should have done something that lasted like 4 hours, or like something that
He's,
was exciting, or show that they really wanted to be there. But this was just like tossing, like sliding these little discs, and like I don't know, it was
I know
just like underwhelming,
I
very
know
underwhelming.
I know from watching the last seasons, um, when they did the whole Jerry return thing, they didn't. I mean, anybody can know the winner based on watching the live feeds, but they didn't even air the conclusion of it till the end, till the Sunday part of that week, right? Like they ended the episode, and it was in season 15 when it was Judd, Jesse, Helen, and
I didn't finish that season. I have no idea.
I believe it. Well, I believe you didn't remember Judd coming back.
I know he came back, but I didn't watch that episode.
Well, I think maybe some of the viewers were like, we want to know, because I mean, not everybody watches live feeds, not everybody follows live feeds. Um, I'm thinking maybe people wanted to know who was coming back in the house before the episode aired, so they did something as simple as that. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so Nicole wins. She comes back into the house, and All right, here's what I want to talk about. You probably didn't really notice it, but there was a moment where Derek was in the room with Frankie, Cody, and Caleb, and he was just telling them, was like, look, whoever is seen talking one-on-one with Nicole at any point,
It
he's
was
gonna
on
call them out.
it was on Sunday's episode. I remember.
He was gonna call them out for it. Yeah, it was before the HOH competition, and he was like, he was gonna call them out for it, and like you got to stick together. No one needs to be talking one-on-one with those guys, and everyone was just like feeding Derek all this information. It's like, oh my God, they're talking. It's like, what? Why aren't they allowed to strategize either? Like, why are they flipping out if Nicole and Donnie are talking? And like all they have is each other. All they have is to talk to each other. Like, I don't understand why they have to like be so gosh, I can't find the word, but it just blew my mind. Like, they was like,
When was the last season that you can remember that there's been an alliance this one-sided so late in the game?
I know. Oh, I didn't watch this season, but I know Big Brother 12 had a very dominant alliance.
The Brigade?
Yeah, I didn't watch that season though, but I know of it. But I hear that season was much better than this season though, because these people were just kind of dull and boring.
When it comes to Derek Witt, I like him on the show.
Yeah, let's just talk about him real quick.
I feel like he's been playing such a great game, but from what I've been hearing, I watch Rob has a podcast a lot. He's like one of the main podcasts I listen to when it comes to Big Brother.
Yeah.
It's like he's a total douchebag on the live feeds. But on CBS, and I even tweeted this, CBS is giving him such a great edit.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't even know if he's worthy about it. I mean, regardless of how he is in real life or not, I like him on the show, but some of the stuff that I hear he says in the live feeds is just uncalled for.
They all are worried about their edit, and that's why they and that's why like you can tell in his I mean, I was gonna get to this later, but even in his goodbye messages or in his DRs, his diary room sessions, it's like Derek tries to fool America. No, it's like he's talking to that casual viewer who doesn't know what's really going on and who's only following the episodes. When the people on the live feeds, they know exactly what you said. They know exactly how you really feel about Donnie. Because like when he's all up in the diary room sessions, he's like, him and Frankie both, they say, oh, I tried so hard to save you, Donnie, and all this and that, and I'm so sad to see you go. And
those two messages though, I didn't think Frankie's was genuine at all.
Well, even in not even the messages. I mean, like even when he's talking, like he's talking to America. He's like, America, I'm so sorry that we couldn't save Donnie. We tried, and it's like, dude, we just watched you completely blow him off, and it's like, so he's obviously worried about his edit, and he tries to lie to us in the diary room sessions, but it's like we see everything. Well, I don't, but America sees, for the most part. I think a lot of people have the live feeds and they see everything. And yeah, I feel like Derek would have been a very exciting player if he was on another season.
Yeah.
Like his gameplay this season is so boring. He is just a dull person, and
I feel like
I think
it'd be cool to hang out with.
I think it's mainly because I don't think it's him. I think it's just that he hasn't really had to do anything. He hasn't had to do anything crazy. Like he didn't have to really try too hard. Or to, everyone is kind of giving him the money, giving him a free ride, and just doing everything for him. So he doesn't have to come up with any type of crazy strategies or do anything out of the ordinary or out of the box type of stuff. He just can just say, hey, look, you do this, then this, and they do it. So that's it for him. That's his days. That's in a day's work for Derek, and he's good. So
I mean, at the same time, he's doing exactly what Dan did in past season. He's trying to be cool with everybody just so he won't get anybody on his bad side. I mean, he's has a. I think this is the only alliance Victoria's in. He has to deal with Victoria, and that's the only reason why Victoria's still in the house is because of Derek.
mhm. Yeah, but like I said, it's just Dan definitely had a rougher road because people would call him out. People, you saw season 10. That season had like if like a Michelle was on this season, or Memphis, or Jerry. If those people, or Libra, if those people were
I
on
want to
this.
talk about Jerry real quick.
Wait, hold on. If those people were on this season, Derek could have been eaten alive. Yeah, but he's dealing with Christine, Victoria, Cody, these people who are just looking up to him like he's just God, and will do whatever he wants. Will do whatever he tells them to do, and it's so frustrating. That's why I really can't. So it's not really Derek, I guess, but it's yeah, I don't know. If he wasn't on this season, or if he got eliminated earlier, it would have been a much more fair game, I guess, and maybe things would have been exciting.
Yeah, definitely. But one thing about Jerry, I've been watching season 10 as of late. I've seen such a high vocabulary. Dude was cursing left and right. He called Dan Judas, which shocked the hell out of me.
Hey man, he's in Big Brother.
Yeah.
Just cause his age don't mean nothing.
But most old people that I know are like polite and like.
Yeah, but most old people aren't on Big Brother.
Yeah.
I mean, so, he's not the only, and he's not the. He was probably the most aggressive, I think, of like someone that age. And I think he was the oldest person to ever be on the show. It's like 70 something, I think. But him and Rennie were probably like the two most like outspoken, like elderly, I guess you say.
I was about to put this on one of the YouTube episodes. Does Rennie sound like a parrot when she talks?
Who?
Rennie? Does she sound like a parrot a little bit? Polly, what? A parrot.
A parrot? No, I just remember her having this annoying voice. I felt so sad for Jesse. It's like I probably would have said the same thing, Jesse. I probably would have felt just like he felt. Like, just shut up. But
do you respect?
That's a great season to rewatch.
Playing the game?
What?
Do you think Derek's playing a good game right now?
Yeah, he's playing a good game.
Like,
that's not. What?
If you were in the jury house, depending on is there anybody that you would vote for against Derek?
As a fan of the show?
Like, if you were in the jury house, if there was anybody else in the final 7 against Derek, would you vote for anybody else?
I don't know. I think I'd probably be a bitter juror. So if Derek was the reason who got me out, if he lied to me or something, and I was closer with someone else, I'd probably vote for that person.
Because the ones that are left, I only see.
I want Caleb to win.
If it's not Derek, there's 2 other people I see that have a chance of winning, and that's Caleb and Cody.
I want Caleb to win, like without a doubt. I wanted a Caleb and Donnie final 2, but that didn't work out. So now I'm actually hoping for Caleb Victoria final 2, because I think Caleb would kill Victoria in the final 2. I actually think he would do good against Frankie in the final 2 as well. So maybe a Caleb Frankie final 2 would be good too.
Anybody would do good in a final 2 with a Frankie or Christine. The closest vote, I think, would be Cody versus Caleb. The other ones will be.
I think that'd be close. Only because Cody has more friends.
Yeah.
And he has the girls. Even though Caleb has done way more and been more impressive than Cody in this game, but Cody has the friends in the house, in the jury house.
I was impressed. Talking about the HOH competition real quick, I was impressed on how well he was in this game. He wasn't he like one of the first ones to finish every single round? It was the question one. On what day?
Boxing.
Yeah. On what day did Joey turn into Alex or something like that? That was one of the questions.
The way they edited it, you know, anybody could have finished first, second, or third. The way they edited it, I don't think he was one of the first to finish every round. But he did good. He won it. You talking about Cody, right?
Yeah.
He won it.
Won the first sole HOH. And I tweeted earlier in the week that I felt like he had two of the worst HOH ratings, but I take that back. I think as much as we love Donnie, as much as we have a little bit of bias towards Donnie, that was the one guy that was going to go after him. And for Cody to be a part in getting rid of Donnie, I guess that worked for his game.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, I mean, Donnie or Nicole, it was pretty much an easy go for anybody, really. But
I was hoping, and this will be a spoiler, I was hoping that Derek was going to win HOH because I think he would have made a big move this week. I think he would have tried to go for Frank. Not that that it's not going to happen. I already know. Do you know who got nominated? Because I found out.
No, I don't know.
You want me to tell you?
I mean, it's not a surprise, is it?
You can take a guess and I'll.
It's not a surprise. I mean, it's two girls.
Yeah, Nicole and Kristen.
So.
If one of them wins to win the veto, which I hope they will, do you think Caleb will backdoor Frankie?
No.
No.
Caleb's closer with Frankie than he is with anyone else in the house.
Which is so weird because he tried throwing that battle of the block a few weeks ago, and obviously it fell on his face. But yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, Caleb would turn on Cody.
He probably put up a pawn.
And Derek over Frankie.
I think he put up a pawn if one of the girls won the veto.
So I mean, I want to get back to this. So yeah, Cody wins HOH. Obviously, Donnie and Nicole are nominated, and okay. And then we get to the power veto.
Wait, no. Team America first.
Yeah, that's what I was about to go to. I forgot about that. Let's go to Team America. Okay, so they get another mission for Team America. This mission, they can choose, like they can come up with their own mission. They come up with their own little thing they want to do, and America has to vote on it, whether or not they were impressed with it. If they were impressed with it, then you get 5,000. If they weren't, then you don't get anything. So Donnie decides to come up with an idea, like a save Donnie mission, which I thought would have actually been a pretty good idea if everything
wouldn't have done it though.
If everything wasn't so set, but everything's been so pre-planned and so set with this season. Like there's been nothing, like no last minute backdoors, no like flipping the house, no nothing crazy this season. So everything is set in stone. Donnie doesn't really. I mean, I feel like he knew that, but you know, he had to try something.
I would have done something like.
No, it was good. It was a good effort. You know, at least he threw it out there.
I would have done something like get Cody to put up a, I don't know. I would have said make Cody make the veto user use the veto or something like that.
Regardless, they would not have done it. But the thing is, like like the way they, gosh, what really upset me was that you can see.
Let's talk about his DR.
You can see Donnie.
You can see
Donnie was just like really upset like he was on the verge of tears, I think, when he was talking to Frankie and Derek about it.
Yeah.
'Cause Frankie was just blowing it off. He was like, no, no, that's, people don't want to see that. And even when Donnie was in his DR, he was like, you know what, Frankie's not have never lived on a level, on my level. He's always up here. He's always, first class uh type of person, and he's not used to dealing with, just being.
Living in his sister's shadow, just like Zembot said.
So and it was touching. That was touching. I really felt for Donnie right there. And I just didn't like that at all. That really put Frankie in a bad light. And that was the first time I think they put him in a bad light in an episode, because they're usually like giving him a decent edit.
He wasn't even looking at the freaking camera during the diary session. That was kind of like, I mean, I know a lot of people hate him on social media now, but it probably increased by 1,000 after that.
Yeah, but how many? In what was so great about it is, like, how many times Victoria or someone else has done that as well, like look over somewhere else and try to fix their face before getting before really talking in the diary room. And the fact that they aired Frankie's was just great. Like, CBS is like, I'm done with you. Like, they're no longer on the Team Frankie bandwagon. They're throwing him under the bus, and that was beautiful. I loved it.
I didn't have an issue with him till the point.
Best part of the episode.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues with him up until the point when he revealed his secret. Once he revealed his secret, he became a total jackass.
Yeah, I feel like he became himself. It's almost like he was putting on the show this entire time, but now that he can finally reveal, because that revealing it meant, like, okay, he can finally, like, he just told these people in his own way of thinking. He told these people that he's okay. I'm better than you. I have this superstar, famous sister, and we you go to award shows, meet with these A-class A-listers and all this and that. And now he's finally acting like that. He's finally portraying himself as this diva type of person. Before, he was kind of like the fun, quirky friend or whoever, but now, ever since he revealed that, now he's like, okay, now I can finally just be myself. Now these people know my status, and that's just how he's behaving now. At least that's the way I take from it. That's what I take from it. So.
And the thing that I like this week is it seems like we're getting a divide now. Finally. I mean, eventually we will once. Hopefully Nicole doesn't go, but if she does, we will get a divide as far as for the Hitman and Caleb, it seems like. And Frankie and...
See, what I think it is Caleb...
Frankie and the two girls.
I think it's Caleb, Frankie, and then Derek, and because Cody and Christine, Christine's gonna do whatever Cody says. So I think it's gonna be Derek, Cody, Christine, and then obviously Derek has Victoria, and then that's why I think that
they talked about throwing Christine under the bus this week, though.
I hope so.
And that would get Paul. That's not his name. Tim. Paul's Cody's brother. I gotta say something about Tim. I tweeted this last night. I watched a little bit before I crashed. You remember Rural Vegas, right? The whole Beat It nerd.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a true definition of that?
What?
My God, he looks so nerdy.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, because he's already kind of been, because he posts these YouTube videos and stuff. So I already seen what he looked like. That wasn't like, I felt so bad for the guy. I felt so bad for him. And in those family packages, like, even Christine's own family was like, we did not raise her to be this way. I had no idea what she's doing up there. They were just like, They were not okay with it. They weren't even pretending to be okay with it. They were embarrassed. They seemed like they were just embarrassed for her.
I would love for Julie to bring Tim out on stage to ask Cody questions. I don't think it's gonna happen, but wouldn't that be amazing?
Maybe on the finale, maybe she'll like, so Tim, why don't you tell Christine how you really feel
Tim,
in front of all these people?
Cody, Tim. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. But yeah, I felt so bad for him. Oh my gosh. That was so awkward to watch. I couldn't even watch that. Watching her family watch her like cuddling with Cody and all that stuff, I could not watch that. That was just, oh my gosh, so uncomfortable.
But yeah, the POV before we get to the eviction night.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I hate that competition. They need to get rid of that.
The POV, the county comp.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you watched it plenty of seasons. Is that like the most rigged one of all? Because I mean, are you gonna stay or are you gonna fold? And I remember last season, Spencer, who I love following on Twitter, Spencer Clausen, I think it is. He was the one. He was on the block and he gave hell. He folded along with everybody else, giving hell on the first two keys. And he was like, you know what? I'm on the block. Why am I? I shouldn't be throwing this. I should do something about it.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, the thing is, like, this is the. I don't know how. I don't even remember this comp much really. So I don't know. I just thought it was a regular, like, I just didn't. I wasn't too excited about it. I mean, it was kind of boring, but whatever.
Well, they had to.
Donnie should have stayed though. Donnie and Nicole folding was so stupid.
On the third one, it's like
you can't do that. You can't like this is why I felt like it's hard to root for certain people. Like you can't if you can't help yourself, you know, what are you gonna do? I mean, good luck. If that's the way you play your game and you want to get ran over like that, then do you? How is it you can do that so well in that Battle of Block competition with those bones? You know, that you had so much, that took so much out of you because you had to do everything. And this challenge, all you had to do was stay or fold. Stay or fold, write some freaking number down, and that's all you had to do. You can't even do that. It was just so pitiful. I hated that. And it's like, I can't even, like, you did it to yourself.
When it comes to the answers, I mean, if one of them gave an answer like so far off compared to the other answers, I wouldn't blame them for folding. But from what I remember, Donnie
had Donnie was in there.
And Donnie bet 460, or it could have been the other way around. And Donnie folded. I think Donnie had 460 and Cody had 460. So if Donnie would have stayed, he would have won that one. I don't remember what round it was. I know it wasn't the last round. It was like the first or second one he won.
And it was it was so stupid. Like, I couldn't understand it. Couldn't understand the logic behind that. But you know, it is what it is. They did it. They're in this game. It's their money that they're losing. So I'm done. Like, I mean, I felt bad for Donnie for sure, how people were treating him. But when it came to his game, I was just not a fan. There were so many times where he could have done something.
Joe even said
and he didn't. And
you're right. You gotta sleep at midnight every night while the rest of your competitors are strategizing. And his answer was, I don't have anything in common with any of these people. And when I watched After Dark, he got along well with everybody.
Yeah. It's like, just make crap up. You don't have to have anything in common with them. Lie. You know? Like, say, oh, yeah, I do that too. Yeah. I know this, I know that. You know, like, just stay out there. Just.
I mean, his biggest issue was all the people that he liked were the ones that got out of the house. I mean, starting with Pow Pow, then Pete and Brittany were close, weren't they?
But no, my thing is that, see, this is why I feel like it's hard to feel really bad for him as far as like his game,
Oh, yeah.
because he had opportunities. You know, it's one thing to be friends with someone. It's another thing to actually be in an alliance with them. And he even said it like even as early as week 3, I would say, maybe 4. He said it. Him and Brittany had a discussion, and they were saying, you know what, this is, you know, because Devin, before Devin left, he told them, you know, that Derek's running everything. There's this big alliance. He told them all this stuff. But what they do is they try to, instead of trying to come together to take out that big alliance, they try to like infiltrate it in a way. Like they try to break people off and say, okay, hey, you know, you know, like what's his name? Donnie tried to. He trusted Derek and Frankie too much as part of that Team America thing. He should have just left that in the sand. Just win some money when you can, but pair it with Brittany. He had Brittany, he had Amber, he had Jacasa, he had Hayden, and he had Nicole.
It's like 6 people right there.
Yeah.
And Nicole was winning HOHs. Amber
And they
was
voted.
winning.
And they
But
voted each other out. I can't get past that. It's like, gosh, man. And they just like, oh, I don't want to stand out. Well, you're already standing out because you're not in the big alliance. So regardless of how you vote, you're going to stand out regardless. You're going to be a target because you're not in part of that alliance, and you know that. You know there's a alliance. So you're even a bigger target. But they're still like, oh, I don't want to be the odd vote. It's like, well, I don't get it. That's what I don't get. So that's why it's hard to feel bad about the position that him and Nicole are in, or were in, because they did it to themselves. It's like they didn't know what to do with the information they were given, and you know they don't know. They just didn't know how to play the game. Really, they just didn't know how to play the game.
well, I
And
feel
that's
like Nicole knew more so than Donnie. But the thing is, she didn't know what was going on behind her back. You know, I mean, she got backstabbed royally by Christine, and now they're buddy. And I guess that's the main reason why Kayla put Christine and Nicole on the block together, because they had fear. They, meaning Derek and company, had fear that if Christine won the veto, she'd take Nicole off.
Well, I hope Nicole wins the veto.
I really do too. But will she survive double eviction? That's tough to say.
She
Really.
could. She could. She could pull a Frankie. I mean, not Frankie. Frank. A BB-14.
But before we talk about Team America, I want to actually backtrack a little bit to Caleb when they did the whole HOH room thing. Now he has his eyes on Cody's sister. First it was Amber, then it was Nicole's best friend, and then it was Ariana Grande, and then it was Cody's sister. According to Amber, I don't remember what interview it was. I think it was Mertz's interview. Caleb hasn't had a girlfriend in 4 years.
Yeah.
I can see why.
Well, I don't know. Has he been has he been deployed recently? I mean, that could be a possibility too.
But
and I can see that. Like,
he comes on way too strong now. This has nothing to do with the game when it comes to the girls, especially when he was with the Amber. He came on way too strong.
I just hope Caleb wakes up, and I just hope he like turns on. I hope him and Frankie team up. Honestly, that's the only thing that I would really want to happen. That I think that would save the season for me. If Caleb and Frankie team up, because I really don't like Derek. I don't like Cody. I don't like Christine, and I wouldn't mind if it was a Caleb, Victoria, Frankie final 3, because it would easily give Caleb the win. I think, like, Caleb would easily win that out of either of those combinations.
I like Derek. I like Derek to an extent. I mean, obviously he's not playing 100% on his game, but if he goes up against anybody, it's going to be 9-0, 8-1, 7-2 vote. I would love Cody. I feel like from an athletic standpoint, I like Cody. He seems like he's
He's
good.
not athletic.
I mean, he won the HOH.
That was not athletics. You mean from a competition point of view?
Yeah, from a competition point of view, I think he's good.
Even I don't know.
The toughest competitor, though, I have to say, is the Beast Mode Cowboy.
And Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie too.
I say they're tied.
I think a lot of the house. Well, not a lot of house. I think Derek and Cody are really underestimating him. I really do.
Yeah.
Like they don't think that Frankie's gonna strike first before they do.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't even matter. At some point, like, there's only going to be, say if they take out all the girls, it's only going to be all 4 of them. So then you have Caleb and Frankie that you're competing against. And if you're Derek and Cody, then you're pretty much done. Because Caleb and Frankie, because the competitions are going to get much more intense as the season goes on. And it's going to be, the endurance comps are going to be coming out. And like in the athletic comps, you know, like the I hope they have one like last season. I do remember the final 3. You remember the final 3 competition last season with they had the roller derby?
Yeah.
That was
Obviously special.
I saw that. I think Frankie would dominate that.
And if you're right about the final 3 being Frankie, Victoria, and Caleb, watching Victoria.
Oh my God! Did you watch her?
Victoria fell during the HOH competition. I thought that was hilarious.
That was so bad. That was so horrible.
I felt really bad for her though. Going back off of Wednesday's episode with the whole situation. I mean, I heard about it on the live feeds, and like she was on the ground, and I don't know who tweeted this. Somebody was like, Nicole's asking for a medic when she is a nurse. Well, she's nursing. Then Derek's asking for a medic when he's a police officer. So I mean, they did what they could.
Now they probably forgot all that.
Yeah.
They're stuck in this house. They're like, man, I don't know what to do.
Want to talk about America real quick?
Talk about what?
Talk about the mission, the whole BS play.
Sure. If you want to.
Donnie was awesome.
It was
He sounded just like Devin.
Oh my! All right, well, let's just talk about this thing as a whole. First of all, it was not a play. It was not a play. All they did was like an improv. I would say it's more like an improv thing than an improv act in a play. Yeah. And all they did was imitate people who weren't there, Victor House guests. And from what I saw, they were all pretty bad, except for Donnie. Donnie was the only good one. Donnie was great. And Donnie was actually it was good-hearted and fun about it. And the other people were just
like Victoria. I think she just wanted to show her, yeah.
Everyone, and no one seemed excited about it. No one seemed like they were interested in it, except for Frankie. He's the only one who seemed like he was ready for it, because he's always trying to put on a show, and God, it was so horrible.
Why didn't they do one for? I wish they would have done one of Zach for Zach, because that would have been so easy to imitate Zach.
They did.
I didn't see it.
They probably didn't air it, but Cody did Zach.
Cody did Zach.
Yeah, but it wasn't anything spectacular. Cody's so boring. He can't be imaginative or anything.
He's a follower, unfortunately.
He can't be funny. All right. So yeah, let's continue with the Team America thing for
apple pie
on eviction night, because Julie was like, okay, if I ask you, well, Julie didn't say this, but they received the card saying, okay, if Julie says you get no apple pie. Apple pie. That means he failed the mission. If you get apple pie, you pass the mission. And I thought that was great. It was so funny. Like seeing Frankie's face light up
Well, that's
when she
overwhelming.
was like overwhelmingly, his face like lit up.
The
And
rest of
he
the
was
house had no idea
like,
what you meant by
no.
like overwhelming now. Like, huh?
Overwhelmingly no.
And there was
Well,
a
like,
hashtag. There was a hashtag for that.
there's a what?
I think there was a hashtag for that.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Doesn't
I
surprise
didn't
me.
see it, but it was hilarious watching it. Yeah, it was great. So that was I was so happy. I mean, it would have been nice to send Donnie off with some extra $5,000, but they should have did the Save Donnie mission, but they're too, they weren't gonna do that. Um, I mean, what else? I mean, they all got to saw their families, which is cute.
Derek's little girl.
Um,
Oh my god, I almost cried
yes.
watching that.
Oh, I want to get to Cody's family, and when they were talking about Christina and Cody. Now,
His dad seems cool.
obviously, his family isn't gonna say anything. Like they're not gonna, say anything bad about their son. But they could show a little respect and say, you know what, that's not cool. Just say that. They don't have to go into detail. Just like, you know what, it's a game, but it is like it's a little weird. Say something to that effect. Don't like just be like, we're a touchy feely family, and that's just how we do things. We just love to touch on people, and it's like, no, no, she is married,
Where's
and
Where's Cody from?
I saw. Oh, I have no idea. I saw
Oh,
on
okay.
just before I logged on here, I saw that Caleb called Cody out for his little flirt mance with Christine, and it was so funny. I hope that turns into something. I hope Caleb completely like just busts him out on it, full force. Um, and it's great. So I hopefully that turns into something, and Caleb will throw Cody on it. Like if Nicole wins wins POV, and Caleb just throws him under the bus and put Cody and Christine next to each other. That would be so great.
Christy's still going home though.
No, she wouldn't. That'd be a 2-2 vote. Nicole and Frankie would probably send Christine home. Well, probably send Cody home. I think Nicole and Frankie would send Cody home, and then Derek and Victoria would send Christine home, and then Caleb would send Cody home because he had to break the tie.
That would be just like last season with Dina Marie and Amanda.
That'd be great if
We need
oh my
something.
God, that would be great if that happened.
Something like that. If that happens,
That would make
I'm gonna
that would make
tweet
this whole
you and be
season.
like, "You're a freaking genius."
But Caleb's not, so he wouldn't do it. He's not gonna do it. He's gonna listen to Derek. He's gonna be like, no, we all gotta stick together, guys. Put Victoria up. We all gotta stick together.
They need to realize that only one person's winning money. Only one person's taking home $500,000.
They haven't. I mean, they realize it, but they're just scared. Everyone's scared to make the first move. That's just what it
I think if
is.
Zach would have stayed in the house, that he would have not have been scared. He would have. He would have. He would have strength.
No, he would have been scared. That's why I don't understand why people act like Zach was this tough guy. He was a pawn, just like Cody and Caleb. He followed everything Frankie and Derek told him to do. Every single thing they told him to do, he did it. And he was like a weaker, useless Caleb, pretty much. Like he was emotional, he was a competitor, but he wasn't as good, so he didn't win as much. But when he did win, like all they had to do was snap their fingers, and Zach would do whatever they told him to do.
He was great TV though.
So I mean, I hope Caleb has some guts and does something, puts Cody up with Christine. That'd be great. If Caleb wins the POV, he can take Nicole off himself. That would twist the knife even harder.
Yeah. But with all the videos, starting with Caleb, I could tell that that was his brother. They look so much alike, and he talks just like
I
him.
yeah
And
yeah.
Donnie's brother, that was precious.
Mhm.
The whole
That was
town
good.
grew you for you.
Yep, that was good.
I think the
Yeah,
only
they were
reason
all
why
sweet. They were all
they
sweet.
did this was to give a to obviously show Tim. I think it was just to show Tim and Ariana Grande. They wanted to give Ariana some spotlight on the brother. At least,
Yeah.
you think she's might perform at the finale? You think they might
Uh, she she
probably
might.
probably do some have something like that in the works?
She might. I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't. I mean, if she did, I wouldn't be surprised.
I hope they don't. As far as for casting goes for future, I hope
Uh,
they don't cast somebody like Frankie like that ever again. I mean, if they cast another like, oh, I'm a sibling of a former Big Brother contestant like Alyssa was, I guess I'd be okay. But like Zingba said, Frankie is living in his sister's shadow the whole time. And I got to ask you,
what?
what do you think about Kathy Griffin a couple weeks ago?
I didn't watch that episode,
You
but
know,
what I
it was
gotta say
hilarious.
about the Frankie thing is that I don't necessarily think that it was bad casting someone like that who has a a celebrity sibling or a relative, whatever, because it didn't affect the game. We didn't. No one had to vote on anything. It didn't like there was no MVP this season like there was last season. So it's just Frankie himself. He's just a bad seed and the bad character, but if he was like a different person, it could be like if they had like Usher's baby brother come on the show. He could be like a cool, chill dude and play the good game, play a game, and be fun to watch. As long as they don't have anything that could where the audience, where Usher's fans would manipulate the voting or anything like that, you know. So I don't have a problem with anything like that. I
Yeah,
really don't. As long as it doesn't manipulate the voting, that's it. And that's all I think was an issue with Alyssa last season was that there was an MVP thing, and obviously Brenchel's army, whatever they call themselves, are going to make sure she has some power. But I mean, I don't mind. I didn't mind that though. I didn't mind that. I just didn't. I just don't like Frankie
yeah,
because he's Frankie.
yeah. I was watching BB Palooza a couple weeks ago, and there are just some fans. I try to keep my bashing of certain cast members, and I see me bashing cast members a lot more in this show than I ever do for the challenge. I try to
Hmm.
keep it to a minimum, but some of the people on the BB Palooza chat a couple weeks ago were going absolutely crazy. I mean, I get you don't like Frankie, but if you personally attack him, other than the fact saying like, oh, he's a douchebag, oh, he's a loser, which he is, but if you take it to extremes, I mean that shows that you don't have a life. You need to get a life.
I would love for this. I would love for like the live feed thing to be a part of every reality show. Like I love that. This is my second. No, this is my. I think this is my first year actually following the live feeds. And it's a completely different experience. Because like when I was watching season 14, I love that season. It was my very first season, and everything was exciting, and all the episodes were great. But when you watch the live feeds, it's like you get so much. I don't even want to imagine like how horrible these people are uh, on a daily basis where I didn't watch the live feeds, because it's like you get a completely different experience. And you see like Frankie getting, or Derek, people like Derek and Frankie are getting good edits, and I probably wouldn't even have an issue with Frankie or Derek. I'd probably be like, yo, those some cool guys. They're playing a good game and whatnot. If I never watched the live feeds, and that's why, so I may go back to not following the live feeds. I may do that, because I think it makes for a better show when you
Yeah,
don't. But I do wish that like the challenge had like the live feeds or something like that, where you can watch, you know, what they're doing. You'll get spoiled, but you'll, I don't know. I think a lot of
That'd
people,
be very tough.
that'd be
Very
tough.
tough to do. But unfortunately, Donnie goes. To say I was surprised would be, I'd be lying.
His essay interview was so, oh my God, it was so heartbreaking. I couldn't watch
It was
that.
so hard to watch.
It was
But
so,
hey,
he was
he got a
trying.
gig out of it, though. Like, how badass is that?
He did get a gig out of it.
Bold and Beautiful. I've never seen that show, but whenever they say, oh, guest starring Donnie Thompson, I'm DVRing that. Like,
I think Howard got a spot last season.
did he?
Bold and Beautiful. I think him and Alyssa got a gig on Bold and Beautiful.
I think from reading something, I think Candace got something too.
Yeah. So obviously it's like fan favorites. You know, they'll latch on. They'll like, hey, let me bring you on here. I mean, Big Brother's pulling in big numbers. So, and if you're a fan favorite of a season that's drawn in like 7 million viewers each episode at the least, then yeah. Especially if you last as long as Donnie did. So that's good for him. I may catch that. I hope it's a good beginning for him, a new beginning.
What do you think about the whole? And then we'll talk further. I'm backtracking here. What do you think about the whole prize that they gave Cody for winning the veto? The whole screening of the new show Scorpion. Have you seen previews for that show?
I don't think so.
It's a show where like type of like a genius is trying to save the world or something like that. It seems pretty cool, and it was cool. I thought it was nice of him to give it to the two have-nots to join him, because I guess if you're on Slop, if there's something like that, you could pig out just for that event. Am I right?
Oh, I don't know. I hope so. But yeah, that was cool. I mean, I think we can start wrapping up. I think we've done discussed everything, and we already know who's nominated, and we gave our predictions. Yeah, double eviction. Oh, that's gonna be great. So I mean, who's one person if you say that you're rooting for?
My wife, Nicole.
Nicole?
I'd marry her in a heartbeat.
I gotta say,
I said in like one of our previous shows that doesn't exist anymore. I couldn't stand her voice, but I'm starting to bear it now. I mean, it's a little bit annoying still, but I'm starting to. What's the word I'm looking for? I can handle it.
yeah. I mean, well, she's gonna have a tough week.
Yeah. Sure.
Hopefully she gets past his double eviction, but I'm rooting for Caleb all the way for sure. So I hope he turns on Derek and Cody sometime soon. Hope it's after POV.
But Caleb, the bomb squad's been gone for like a month now.
Not for him. Not for him, man.
He's the leader of the bomb squad.
Yes. So hopefully, I hope that caters him all the way to a win. 'Cause everyone's been laughing at him, and it's like,
thing I've seen from him this season. The whole Beast Mode Ninja thing. Did you watch Sunday's episode?
Yeah, yeah.
When he was being like a ninja.
Yeah, he's great. I love him in the house. I hope they bring him back for that.
A lot of things that he says confuse the hell out of me, and I feel like, dude, you're an idiot. Like the whole when he was going in circles about Donnie, it's like, dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it says something about like gangrene and how he's a genius and how his eyes move when his eyelids are closed. It's like, okay.
And he still talks
But
about.
that's what's great about Caleb, man. I love if Caleb wasn't on this show, I swear we'd have nothing to really talk about except Frankie.
Like he's the one person left that is very entertaining. That I can tolerate his his
Yeah, I ain't tolerate his antics.
antics.
Frankie tries to be entertaining. Christine and Cody's little flirt mance is disgusting. And everyone else is just there. Caleb's the only one that I could, like, actually find entertaining.
We've lost a couple good personalities the past 2 weeks. I mean, Zach Tag and Donnie going back to back. Yeah, right.
So.
What can you do?
All right, so I think we should start wrapping up. I mean, I think we should just start wrapping up. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. And then we'll try to.
Are you the one October 6th? I'm gonna try to get a pregame interview. Do a couple pregame interviews. I'm gonna talk to my boy Wes, get him on Google Hangout sometime next week. And I've been trying for weeks now to schedule something with Tori to catch up with her on a blog talk. Because I know she's a big Brother fan, so we'll talk Real World Challenge and Big Brother. So I can't wait for either one. A month away. Have you interacted with any of the cast? And then I'll let you sign off.
No, I haven't. Not yet.
I talked to one, the girl Tyler. She seems cool. Mm-hmm. She seems real sweet.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten in touch with anyone yet. I think I'm gonna wait till the season starts. I think the only thing I'm gonna preview is probably Survivor, and yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna preview either one because they haven't really given out much anything in the trailer or anything. So,
in Puerto Rico this year.
So we got a lot of stuff to look forward to. We got Are You the One? We got Survivor. I can't wait for the Big Brother finale, which is September 24th. And hopefully we can get together next week with Stefan and discuss, this week's shenanigans. Hopefully it's a good week. I'm hoping for Christine and Cody to go on a double eviction. That would be perfect for me. Christine and Cody gone, double eviction.
I think it's gonna be Christine and
or Christine and Derek.
I think it's gonna be Christine and your boy. I hate to say it.
Who?
It's gonna be Christine and Beast Mode Cowboy.
Oh no, he's safe. I think he's safe.
Besides Frankie and then maybe Christine, I think the other three would turn on him in a heartbeat.
Derek won't turn on Beast Mode Cowboy because Derek know he can beat him, and he knows that Caleb will follow him everywhere.
Would he evict Victoria over Caleb?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
but I think
I'll let you sign off because you've been trying to sign off for a couple of minutes and I just keep.
Yeah, I'm trying to. But follow us at Reality Radio Pod. Our blog is talkingrealitytv.blogspot.com, and
I gotta go with it.
Yeah, and I'm.
All
right, I'll catch you later, Andrew. Peace out.